Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about Kotlin Flows and we will see how we can apply the flow concept to our Android application with different kind of use cases. Before I jump to my next slide, I wanted to let you know this complete session has been divided into two parts. One is the theoretical part, which will cover the theory part of the flow, and the another one is the practical part, where we will see how we can apply all that theory part practically in our application. What is Kotlin Flow? So to answer this question, Kotlin Flow is written on top of coroutines, and Flow is having a capability to emit multiple values sequentially. However, when we compare the flow with normal suspend function can only return a single value at a time. Now, you might be wondering that what could be the use case to use flow. So consider an area or consider an application where you are expecting a live update, say stock market application. So in a stock market application, the stock value is getting changed every second. So as soon as the value will get changed on the server, it should get reflected to your UI. So that is one of the use case where we can use Kotlin Flow. Also, you can use a flow to receive live updates from the database. Furthermore, flow is very much similar to an iterator, but it uses suspend function to produce and consume value asynchronously. What does that mean? Basically, as soon as the data will get generated on the server, it will get reflected to the UI, and also it will make sure that it is not blocking the UI thread. Let's try to understand this with the help of example. Let's jump to our Android Studio. Okay, so I have created one project with name Kotlin Flow Demo. So now inside this project, I'm creating one class, say fake repository, and then one view model class. So default view model, which would be extending view model. So inside fake repository, we are going to simulate the behavior, like some data is coming from the server, and as soon as data is getting generated, we are sending it to the view model. So fun generate number, and then we are writing sequence of type integer. Here I'm using one for loop for I in, and this will yield the number, and after yielding every number we have to delay, so we cannot use delay here directly, so I will use thread dot sleep for 2 seconds. Okay, so now we will call this generate number from default view model. So for that I have to create the object of repository. So val repository is equal to fake repository. Inside this I'm using init function, and I'm calling that repository dot generate number dot for each log dot d number generated, and then I'll pass it dot to a string. Okay, and at last I'm writing log dot d, and then here I'm stating execution completed execution status. So as we are not using this outside of the class, so I can use private val, and also we can show this generated number to our UI. So for that reason I'm creating one mutable state. So private val number mutable state of, and then I will pass 0 as a default number. And there is another number val number which will be type of state int, and we will get this number. Perfect. So we have to reflect this number to the UI. So for that, we have to instantiate the view model. So val vm by view models, and here we have to pass the name of the view model. So default view model. Okay. Now inside greeting, I will call the view model and I will check the number. Perfect. So what we have done so far, we have created one default view model and one fake repository and one main activity which was already there. So inside fake repository, we are simulating that we are getting data which is kind of integer. So this number is getting generated every 2 seconds. So consider this number is getting generated on the server every 2 seconds. So on first second it will be 1, and after 2 seconds it will be 2, after 2 seconds it will be 3. So it will get incremented every 2 seconds, and whenever the number will get generated, it will be given to the view model, and as soon as view model will get the data, it will print this log statement, and also it will state that it will update this number. So as we are updating this number, we can write number dot value it. Okay, and once this execution is completed, then it will print execution status. So let's run the program to see the behavior. So you can see number is getting generated every 2 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. And while number is getting generated, this screen is freezed. And also this statement has not been printed yet. Let's see what going to happen once it will reach count 10. So now it is reached to 10. And after completing 10, I can see UI thread is released now. Hence it is showing the value 10 here. And also once this all 10 value is getting emitted, then it is calling execution completed. So then this statement is getting called. So to conclude, we can say that sequence is emitting the data as soon as it is getting generated, but at the same time it is blocking the main thread. So once this complete function, this statement is getting executed completely, then at this time main thread is getting released, and then it is printing this log. And also while execution of this statement, the the UI thread was blocked. So to overcome with this problem, we will see how we can fix this using Kotlin Flow. Okay, now we will fake this number using Flow. Let's see how we can do that. First, I will create fun generate number using Flow, and this will return flow of type integer, and then we have to use flow builder. Then we are emitting the value, but before emitting the value, we have to write for each loop similar to the one which we did for sequence. Perfect. And we will emit the value I, and then we will delay for 2 seconds. So this is the same code, the one which has been written here for sequence. So I'm using here flow builder, and inside flow builder I'm emitting the value of this for loop which will go from 1 to 10, and with every 2 second delay it will emit one value. Now we have to go inside the default view model, and as it was coroutine, we have to call inside the coroutine scope. Uh, so for that, what we have to do, first we can call the repository dot get number using flow dot collect. So sorry, dot collect. So when we write collect, the compiler is complaining and it is saying that suspend function collect should be called only from a coroutine or another suspend function. So for that, we will write view model scope dot launch, because this is coroutine function, right? So here it is mentioned that it is a suspend function. So to execute a suspend function, we need to declare it inside the another suspend function, or we have to call this inside a coroutine scope. So as you can see, this vModel.launch is having a coroutine scope, so I'm calling it from here. And then we will log that detail, log.d, and I can write number generated, it dot to string, and also I have to update the number. So I have updated that as well. Now let's see the behavior of the application. So now our flow has been implemented. Let's see the behavior now. So I'm running the application. So inside the logcat, we can see one number, first number is generated, and just after that execution is completed. This block is completed. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, we can see here that the number is getting updated. You can see that the number is getting generated. So what is the difference in our first case? Like in case of sequence, all the number was getting generated and then this statement was getting printed, and at the same time the UI was blocked. We were unable to see the updated number on the UI. But in this case, after using the flow, I can see that after emitting the first value, execution completed was printed, this statement was printed, and then it was emitting the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At the same time, it was updating on the UI. I'm running the program again just to show you the behavior. So inside logcat, we can see one execution completed. This statement has been executed. Now it is generating the number 2, 3, 4, 5. At the same time, we can see the UI is getting updated, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now now to conclude it, we can say that the flow can safely make a network request to produce the next value without blocking the main thread. So here we are simulating the behavior. Consider you are calling some API and the result is coming from the API. So that's what we are simulating here. So with that, we can say that a flow is conceptually a stream of data that can be computed asynchronously. So we can generate a data from this block and we can collect the data here inside our view model without blocking the main thread. So with that, I will finish this video. And in our next video, we will see producer, consumer, and bit background about the reactive programming. And then we will see what is the purpose of using this flow builder and what is this emit and all that. Let's deep dive in our next video. Till that time, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.